Hello everyone, and this is Salomoni, and in today's session we are going to see about the trigonometry. So the contents of today's session is going to be the introduction to trigonometry, trigonometric functions and angles. Then we will be dealing with the concept of unit circles followed by the concept of complementary angles, and we will have some quick glimpse on trigonometric identities. So without wasting much time, let's jump into introduction to trigonometry. So, trigonometry, the etymology comes from the blend of three words tri plus gono plus metry, meaning tri meaning three, gono meaning sides, and metry meaning measurements. So, this is nothing but three sides measurement. So, putting together these three words, we can see that trigonometry is nothing but the relationship between the sides and angles of a triangle. So whether this can be any triangle? No, this triangle is going to be a particular type of triangle which is a right angle triangle. So in a right angle triangle, we will be speaking about the relationship between the different three sides and the angles. So that is going to be the concept of trigonometry. So speaking about right angle triangle, we can say the longest side as the hypotenuse. We have it here, and then this is the opposite side and this is the adjacent side. So how we are determining the opposite and adjacent side is based on the angle which we are interested. So if this is the angle of interest, then this side is exactly opposite to the angle. So this is going to be the opposite side and this is going to be the adjacent side. In the same way, if this angle is going to be your angle of interest, then this will become the adjacent side and this will become the opposite side. That's it. So being clear with this basic idea, let's move on to the practical applications of trigonometry. So why we need to study the trigonometry and what will be its practical uses. So let's say we have a kid who is flying a kite and there is another kid who is wondering at what height the kite is flying. How can we know that at what height this kite is flying? So if this kid is well versed with its trigonometry basics, then he will be able to calculate this very easily. Similarly, let's say there is another scenario where we have a lighthouse and here we have our friend again. So he is standing at the top of the lighthouse and he is watching at a boat. Now he is wondering at what distance this boat is from the shore. So this also he can easily calculate if he knows how to handle his trigonometry basics. So apart from this, trigonometry finds its applications in aerospace, aviation, navigation, defense, and we can say even in electronics, constructions, everywhere we are using trigonometries. This is quite interesting, right? So let's have a deep dive into trigonometry. So the first thing which we should know about trigonometry is trigonometric functions and angles. So as I said earlier, we are going to deal with the right angle triangle. So we have a right angle triangle and this is your angle of interest theta. In that case, your longest side is going to be the hypotenuse. Since this is the angle of interest, this base is going to be your adjacent side and this is going to be your opposite side. Now, there are six different functions or six primary functions for trigonometry, which we will call it as sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosecant theta, secant theta and cot theta. So how we are going to define these functions with respect to these sides, that is what we are going to study. So first let me speak about sine theta, which is nothing but sine is a function. So the sine function of this angle theta is going to be a ratio of any two of these three sides. So sine function of the angle is opposite by hypotenuse. So here we are relating the angle with the sides using a function sine. So sine theta is opposite by hypotenuse. Similarly, cos theta is going to be the ratio of adjacent to hypotenuse and tan theta is going to be the ratio of opposite by adjacent. So already we know that sine theta is opposite by hypotenuse and cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse. So with this we can say that tan theta is nothing but the ratio of sine theta by cos theta. So tan theta is either opposite by adjacent, or if we already know the sine theta and cos theta value, we can take a ratio of sine theta and cos theta and that will be equal to tan theta. And cosecant theta is nothing but the inverse of sine theta. So which means 1 by sine theta, which will be hypotenuse by opposite. Similarly, secant theta is nothing but 1 by cos theta, that is hypotenuse by adjacent, and cot theta is nothing but 1 by tan theta. So these are the 6 basic trigonometric functions we should be very clear with. Like we are defining the angle with respect to the ratio of the lengths. So as we can see, all these are ratio of lengths. So all these values like sine theta, cos theta, always these are unitless values. We cannot give any units like degrees. Is it clear? Yeah. With that, we will move to the concept of unit circle. So here I have my coordinate system, and what I am going to do is I am going to draw a circle which radius is 1 unit. So it can be 1 meter or 1 centimeter, whatever it is. So for generalized purpose, we will say it as 1 unit. So that is why it is called as unit circle. So I have drawn a unit circle and this radius is going to be 1. So now I have drawn a line. So this line is also going to be the radius. So now I have drawn a line and this line is also going to be the radius of the circle. So this dimension is also going to be 1. So now this angle is at a particular angle with respect to my x-axis. So that angle is theta, we are assuming. Now, based on these angle values, we will be calculating the different sine and cos properties. So for that, I am constructing one more vertical line that will start from this vertex and it will end in the x-axis. So with this, let's give some nomenclature. So the base of the triangle, I am naming it as x, and this height of the triangle, I am naming it as y. Now, we know that sine theta is equal to opposite by hypotenuse, which is going to be, this is my theta, so y is going to be my opposite and x is, this is, so we know that sine theta is going to be my opposite by hypotenuse. So in this triangle, the opposite side is 1 and my hypotenuse is 1. So it will be y by 1, which is equal to y. Similarly, cos theta is nothing but adjacent by hypotenuse, which is going to be x by 1, that is x. So from this, what we understand that generally if it is a sine theta, what we should know is this y coordinate, and if it is a cos theta, we should know about the x coordinate. Sine theta is nothing but the vertex in y direction and cos theta is in x direction. With this being clear, let's make this unit circle little more complex. So instead of theta, let's have some real angles here and calculate what are the different values we are getting. So again, I have a unit circle. So here my sine theta is going to be my opposite by hypotenuse, that is why I'm just recollecting it, and cos theta is nothing but adjacent by hypotenuse, which is x. So x direction what we are getting, it's going to be cos theta, and in y direction what we are getting, it's going to be our sine theta. So now again I am drawing an angle and this angle is going to be theta. So now I have this length equal to 1 and this length is equal to 1. Both these are the radius of this unit circle. And now this is a generalized table and we are going to find out how we are getting these values. So this table is nothing but if the value is sine 0, it is 0. Cos 0 is 1, tan 0 is 0. So similar for each functions at different angles, what are the values? That is what it is shown in this table. So like 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90 degrees, we have these tables. Okay, so each time when we encounter like tan 30 or something, we did not calculate, then if it is tan 30, we will be quickly able to say that it will be 1 by root 3. If it is a cos 60, we should not calculate. We can easily say that cos 60 means it will be 1 by 2. So for that easy purpose, we are having this table. So now let's find out how this table is being derived. So the first point is, let's say that your angle is going to be 0 degree. So this angle is going to be 0 degree, which means this line will coincide with this x-axis. So in that case, what is at this point, what will be your x and what is your y value? X value is nothing but 1 and y value will be 0, correct? So saying that, we can say that x value is nothing but our cos theta. So cos theta will be 1 and sin theta is nothing but y value, which is 0. So which means sin 0, that is y value. Sin 0 is 0 and cos 0 is 1. So with sine and cos we can find tan, because tan theta is nothing but sine theta divided by cos theta. So 0 by 1, again we have 0. Cosecant theta is nothing but 1 by sine theta. Secant theta is nothing but 1 by cos theta, and cot theta is nothing but 1 by tan theta. So once we found sine theta and cos theta, we can fill the rest of the table. So now let's say this is not 0 degree but it is 90 degree. In that case, this line is going to merge with my y-axis. In that case, what we can say, your y value is going to be 1 and x value is going to be 0, which means y value is nothing but your sine theta. So sine 90 is going to be 1 and cos 90 is going to be 0. So now have this little more complicated. It's not at like 0 degree or 90 degree. Instead we are having it as some other angle, and that angle, let's say it is 30 degree. So in that case what we have to do, we have to know the corresponding x and y value at this point. So this is not going to be a direct thing like 0 degree or 90 degree, because it is in between the circle. So we have to know the x and y coordinate at this point. So for that what we are doing is we are constructing a symmetric line on the opposite side. So I have a symmetric triangles, two symmetric triangles. So now this is 30 degree and this total angle is going to be 60 degree. And speaking this, an angle inside a triangle can be 180 degrees. So if this is 60 degree and these two are symmetric angles, we can say that the other two angles are going to be 60 degree. So we have 60, 60 and 60. So what we have got is nothing but an equilateral triangle. So equilateral triangle means all the internal angles will be equal as well as all the sides will be equal. So this is one and this is also one unit. So this complete base of the triangle is also going to be 1 unit. So if this is 1, then this is going to be, that is exactly this y is going to be 1 by 2. So I have found out my y value at this point, it is going to be 1 by 2. Which means sine 30 is going to be 1 by 2. That is what we have got here. Now speaking about the x value, we have to find this x. So again let's consider only this black triangle. So we have a right angle triangle where the hypotenuse is 1 and this height is 1 by 2, we know. So it's quite easy to find the x, right? Yes, we have to apply the Pythagoras theorem. So x squared plus y squared will be equal to 1 squared. X squared we don't know, y squared we already know, it is 1 by 2 the whole square is equal to 1. With this I can easily calculate my x is equal to root 3 by 2, which means my cos 30 is nothing but root 3 by 2. With these two values we can have the different ratios and we can find the tan theta, cosecant theta, secant theta and cos theta and cot theta. So similarly for different angles like 45 degrees and 60 degrees, also using the geometrical identities and triangle properties, we will be able to find out these values. So for generalized angles or common angles like 30 degree, 45 degree, 60, 90, we have this table. For example, if you are in a position to find sine 32 degree or sine 47 degree, how we will be doing? For that we have a specific logarithmic table. But as of now, we will not be using that. Maybe in further classes, we will be discussing in detail on how to use in between angles. So with the concept of unit circle being done, the next thing we are going to see about is the complementary angles. Before moving to the complementary angles, again, let's have this quadrants. And there is one more thing we have to discuss, that is nothing but your positive and negative functions. Of the basic trigonometric functions, there are some functions which are positive and some functions which are negative. So speaking of which, your sine theta, tan theta, cosecant theta and cot theta, these are all positive functions. So sine of minus theta will be minus sine theta because these are positive function. Cos theta and secant theta are negative functions, which means cos of minus theta will be cos theta, not minus cos theta. It is more like cos theta is like multiplying by minus 1. So it will become positive. So we should be sure that cos theta, and we should be clear that cos theta and secant theta are negative functions. So if it is cos of minus theta, the final answer should be cos theta. Understood? So next coming to this quadrants. So we have divided this into 4 quadrants. So we will count the quadrant number in anti-clockwise direction. So this is going to be your quadrant 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here we will call it as ASTC circle. So here A means all the functions like sine, cos, tan, all the functions will be positive in this quadrant. In the second quadrant, only the sine theta will be positive and cos theta and tan theta will be negative. In the third quadrant, your cos theta and sine theta will be negative and tan theta will be positive. In the fourth quadrant, sine theta and tan theta will be negative and cos theta will be positive. So what I am trying to say here is, for example, if you're going to calculate like this is going to be 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree, and this is again 360 degree. So in that case, if you want to calculate like sine 20 degree or sine 45 degree or sine 75 degree, it will come in first quadrant. 75 degree will be somewhere here. So your line will be like this. So in that case, all the values like cos theta, sine theta, tan theta, cosecant, secant, cot, everything you will get positive value. In case if you want to calculate sine 150 degree, let's say, then our 150 degree will come somewhere here. So in that case, what will happen is if you are calculating sine 150 degree, you will get a positive value. If you are calculating cos 150 degree or tan 150 degree, you will get a negative value. Similarly, like if you are now if we say that if your angle is like 250 degrees or 240 degrees, then your angle will be, your position will be somewhere here. So in that case, if you are calculating like tan 240 degree, you will get a positive value. If you are calculating sine 240 or cos 240, you will get a negative value. Similarly, if you are calculating for let's say 340 degree or 330 degree, then your angle will be somewhere here. In that case, if you are calculating cos 330, you will get a positive value. If it is a sine 330 or tan 330, we will get a negative value. That is how we have to understand this complementary angles and quadrants. Next point is trigonometric identities. These are very much important for having a clear understanding of different relations and applications. There are different identities like Pythagorean, sum or addition identities, difference or subtraction identities, double angle, sum to product formula or product to sum formulas, and co-function identities. So Pythagorean identity is nothing but sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is going to be 1. Tan squared theta plus 1 is equal to secant squared theta. 1 plus cot squared theta is going to be cosecant squared theta. So we have a generalized formulas or identities like this, but we have solid proof for all these identities. Similarly, addition identities is nothing but sine of two angles. A plus B means then it will be like sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. Similarly, the difference identities will be like difference of two angles, and this is a double angle like sine 2A or cos 2A, tan 2A, then how it is going to be. And sum to product is nothing but if you sine A plus sine B, then it will be converted into a product of sine and cos, and if it is a product it will be converted into sum, and this is the co-function identities. So these are the different trigonometric identities which we will be dealing with a detailed way in the further classes. So as of now, let me wind up here. Let's come back to our problem again. So this boy is flying the kite, and again his friend who is there is wondering at what height the kite is flying. So in that case, how we are going to arrive at the solution for this problem is nothing but if he knows at what distance his friend is there and at what angle he is seeing the kite, then he will be able to calculate the height of the kite. So let's say he is looking the kite at an angle of 60 degree and his friend is at a distance of 2 meters. Then what he can do is so he can apply a simple trigonometric formula. So he is going to deal with this opposite side and adjacent side. So we can use tan theta. Tan theta is nothing but opposite by adjacent. Opposite is the height which we has to find, and adjacent is 2 meter we know, and theta is nothing but 60 degrees. So tan 60 is equal to x by 2. So this opposite side I am denoting as x. So tan 60 already we know from the previous table and unit circle concept that tan 60 is nothing but root 3. So root 3 is equal to x by 2. So x is equal to 2 root 3, which is 3.464 meters. So the kite is flying at a height of 3.46 meter. Then again coming to our lighthouse problem. So again, if he knows at what distance, at what angle he is looking at the boat and what is the height of the lighthouse, he should be able to calculate the distance of the boat from the shore. So let's say the height of the lighthouse is 30 meters and he is looking at an angle of 30 degree. Then what will happen is, again we have to use tan theta, since we are going to deal with the ratio of opposite and adjacent. Tan 30 is equal to x by 30. Tan 30 value, we already know that it is going to be 1 by root 3. This is taken from the table which we have seen previously. So 1 by root 3 is equal to x by 30, which means x is equal to 30 by root 3, which is 17.32 meters. So the boat is at a distance of 17.32 meters from the point where the boy is standing. So this is a basic, very basic application of trigonometry. But as I said, there are very vast applications, and in high-end technical applications like aviations, navigations, aerospace, everywhere this trigonometries are being used. So I hope the basics which we have covered in today's session was clear for you. So we will discuss in more detail in the forthcoming classes. Until then, bye bye. Have a nice day.